If today is the first time watching me, I go by the name Flamboyant Lifestyle. I'm a trend analyst and also international key news speaker. If you're not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe so that anytime I drop a video, you'll be the first person to watch. Let's watch the video.
Shares on BOG's balance sheet.
Right.
We have a right to question what caused the 1.7 billion loss.
Yes. Valid.
Yeah.
Who is responsible for the design, the pricing, the implementation, the decisions? If Honorable sits here to say that PMMC transferred its liabilities to Gold Board, it doesn't feed into this conversation because the loss is clear. It's ring-fenced against 2025. 2025, Gold Board was in operations. 2025, Gold Board changed the architecture of PMMC. In becoming Gold Board, as we all heard with the fanfare and everything, Parliament gave it the monopoly, right? Sole aggregator, combined as a sole regulator, inclusive of a task force to implement whatever price they set. If we sit here to make this a conversation of Sammy Gyamfi and Afenyo Markin, we are being disingenuous to the good people of Ghana. 1.7 billion. If you look at the audited report of Gold Board itself, it talks about a $10.8 billion benefit to the country as far as its operations are concerned. Yet, we are well aware of the quantum sum of the equivalent of 133 million cedis, right, that the BOG gave to Gold Board. The minority, as far as we sit here, Honorable is interested...
Actually billion, 135 billion.
Billion, sorry, 133 billion.
Yeah.
Thank you. As far as we are concerned sitting here, Honorable is also interested in what is contributing to the loss. I don't think he's running away from that fact.
Yes, I'm interested.
As a former parliamentarian, and if he was in opposition then, he would have asked for a probe into the matter, into an inquiry. Interestingly, this government at Parliament, and of course, they do the bidding of Jubilee House, shut down the inquiry from the minority. So it is not Anti-Efia sitting at Adenta Market who has to determine where the loss resides. Anti-Efia should be concerned because taxes will be laid on her and we'll all have to pay. $1.7 billion should be the conversation. You see, I don't want to get into this Afenyo Marking Sammy Gyamfi fan club because it creates a certain impression. If we are to get into that accusation, Honorable Kojo Oponkuma first went, stepped into the fray with this conversation when the IMF talked about the $240 million loss in relation to Gold Board, right?
Yeah.
What didn't we hear the same CEO of Gold Board say about him? He's not an accountant. Rubbished him, his experience, his pedigree, even the time he spent in Parliament and the experience he's gathered. Take that fact away from Kojo that he's an established individual who has experience, even in finance, in economy. He speaks intelligently to it. He rubbished him and said he didn't know what he was saying. Former Deputy Minister of Finance, Abena Osei-Asare, Honorable, also raised questions. They dealt with her the same way. She's incompetent, she's reckless, she's useless, she's silly. They use all sorts of invectives on her. Now, the hilt of it is what Honorable Afenyo Markin is going through. Complete character assassination. What am I saying? It's establish a pattern. Anybody who questions Gold Board or BOG, so long as Gold Board is in the conversation, you are going to face personal attacks and insults. But those personal attacks and insults should not distract us. At the very least, the same CEO of Gold Board told us that Dr. Baumia owned Haptel, and that if any Ghanaian that buys electricity, who loads the unit on their meter, has inherently put money on into the bank account of Dr. Baumia, which is running his campaign. He said that. A lie. This same gentleman was sued by Honorable Dr. Matthew Buku Prempeh, wasn't he? And for which he won. He went to the appeals court, did he not? In fact, when he went to the appeals court, he didn't proceed till his government came to power. And for which that defamation has been squashed. Has it not? So if a liar tells you to go to court, then it means that he knows the judge. That is what he's essentially saying. Gyamfi is a known liar. From talking about, who owns Haptel, from even creating scenarios out of thin air about people that he even still sees and greets and shakes. Even defamation on your colleague journalist, Kwame Sefakai. And today, he's talking about the impugning his integrity. He's talking about it's not fair to level accusations again. When did he realize this? At the very least, even his posture in responding to the issues where Ghanaians are concerned. Why are these losses coming? You said you've given us a benefit of $10.8 billion, but there's a loss of $1.7 billion. Why can't we talk about it? Why are you so agitated when that conversation comes? And instead of submitting yourself to Parliament for an inquiry, you take to media houses and radio stations with your PR machinery behind you. And all they amplify is the insults and attacks on the people who are raising meaningful questions. The voter does not care the personal relationship or whatever has transpired between Sammy Gyamfi and Afenyo Martin. The voter is concerned because 1.7 billion more, 1.7 billion, which is about 1.5% of our GDP. If the program is going so well, why are they reducing the cost? In fact, the cost of that program is 14% of the amount. Honorable, on 25th February 2025, the sitting president told us that we need $1.7 billion to finish Agenda 111. That's what the president told us a year and a half ago, that we need $1.7 billion to finish Agenda 111. Same president is comfortable that somebody is appointed to the gold board through his operations has cost the state $1.7 billion and is not concerned.
No. I want you to state.
Yes.
Don't distort.
I will not distort the news. I'm stating the fact. IMF says there's a loss of $1.7 billion.
IMF did not say that.
The president should be concerned. Yes, the IMF said the loss arose from the domestic gold purchase program.
Who runs that? Who runs that policy?
Oh.
Yes. You see, in other issues, we have to put them in proper perspective.
If you want to take the young man out of that conversation, then you are wrong. Because Gold Board runs an operation. What do? Gold Board took $133 billion to run an operation and brought back less back to BOG. It sits on the books of BOG.
And brought back what?
What occasioned the loss?
And brought back what?
So at the end of the day, the $1.7 billion is not in doubt. You sat here to agree.
Don't set your own issues.
I'm not. You know what? You sat here to make 70% of your argument about the accusations on Afenyo Martin.
On the news.
You made, yes. I am saying that. Forget that.
I should forget that.
No.
You want to set your own parameters.
I'm telling you that Ghanaians should be concerned about 1.7 billion because that argument is a distraction. You are using that to run away from the quantum sum of $1.7 billion. $1.7 billion can complete Agenda 111. Why? Because John Mahama, the president, told us that he needs 1.7 billion to finish Agenda 111.
It's true.
As we sit, $400 million is needed to set up the Women's Development Bank, for which the vice president, using very flowery language, made women in Ghana appreciate the fact that, oh, when the NDC comes, they are going to set a bank that will do this. $400 million is all that is needed. 2 years on, we haven't seen the bank anywhere. $1.7 billion can set up 4 banks. 4 of the Women's Development Bank. So I am concerned. I am not interested in their court case because an established liar, when he says you should go to court after he throws allegations into the air, knows the judge. That is why he's saying what he's saying. So that conversation is already he knows what he's going to do. I do not care about that. I care about $1.7 billion. I care about the fact that it can establish 4 women's development banks. I care about the fact that that laws could have completed Agenda 111. That is what we should be concerned about. I am very mortified that the minority in asking for a probe and asking, come to parliament. It is the most reasonable thing to do. Not to sit on Asempa, go to Joy News, go to Adum, set bloggers, turn on live, go on TikTok and be insulting everybody. To the point where his own campaign manager, when he first wanted to run as comms director, I believe, Honorable Neil Vanderpool, he was Sammy Gyamfi's campaign manager. In doing the most prudent thing, when a young man has shown ineptitude and incompetence, and in responding to issues, denigrates everybody, comes to apologize because it's the right thing to do. Within hours, has retracted. He resets his own apology. Even see how the public accepted that apology from Honorable Neil Vanderpool. The public did, thought it was the most mature thing to do. Yet in his own party, no. He is the most smartest, intelligent boy. Even IMF doesn't know what they are saying. The most smartest, intelligent CEO who has brought us 10.8 is upset that we are asking him about 1.7 billion loss. 1.7 billion. And if it is so amazing, as they say, why are they redefining the cost of productions and looking at it from 14% to 5%? We need to know. And that conversation should not sit on TV programs or sit on radio stations. It should go to parliament. The majority should embrace it and not dismiss it. And let's get to the bottom of it.
Okay.
So please, personal issues are not what I'm interested in. Personal friendships, we do not care. The voter does not care what their relationship is or whatever. It is merely a distraction. And the reaction shows that there's a panic. Honorable Atuforsen has questions to answer. The governor has questions to answer. Sammy Gyamfi has questions to answer. 1.7 billion, we should all be worried. And guess what? That's 2025. We are in August of 2026. Per the laws, if I'm to make a projection, I'm sure that we are almost past $2.5 billion. Moro, it is so shocking because we can't even appreciate the quantum loss that we are talking about.
Thank you very much for watching the video. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe so that anytime I drop a video, you'll be the first person to watch. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you another time.